Hello. Well, we had a bit of a false start there. It's Monday morning, it's Model Making Live. So we were missing a little bit for last week, mainly because of a few technical difficulties, but we believe we've sorted all of those out. Today is going to be an interesting one because it's going to be sort of bits and pieces of projects that are either in process, been done, or need to be finished. So from Create a Mix. Like I said, welcome along. So today we're going to be changing some wheel sets on here, but the wheel sets don't fit, so we're going to be fitting some brass bearings. This is one of the last wagons that needs its water slide transfers. So hopefully we'll be able to get this one finished, and that will be all of those wagons transferred ready for wheel sets and chassis to be fitted. I need to strip down of this container and take off this paper decal, give it a repaint into the livery that we're going to be using at the moment. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so we need to remove this paper decal that's been fitted. You can see there it's coming off. Repaint, then hopefully refit a different decal on here that I've been making. This one's already in the gunmetal grey that I want to paint the other one into. Need to fit the paint the red area on and fit the decal onto that one. That one will be finished as well. And if we get the chance, we'll move on to some more. Also, later on, we will have 2 model brick build lives. One, we need to finish off the trailing car from the American Union Pacific diesel, and then we need to finish off yesterday's loco with the insanely bad instructions. So they're later on today. Check out on the homepage, and you'll be able to see exactly what I mean and when they're due to be released as we do them. So I think we'll kick off initially with putting the decals onto this. Well, that should make it a little bit easier anyway. Trying to use the foam board there instead, but I think we'll stick to a small cutting mat. So, as in previous episodes, seem to have a bit of an echo going on there. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, so as in previous episodes, I'll be using Humbrol decal fix here. This also loosens the, well, this will loosen up the actual transfer and help it adhere to the model. It also helps if you leave it overnight, it'll actually pull it into the plastic molding, so it'll really give that three-dimensional look about it. Yes, so while that's softening up, it takes a couple of minutes. I'm just going to take the wheel sets off of this low mat, or the two low mats that we're going to be working on. I really don't like the plastic wheels. I mean, if I have to use them On some items I will, but in this case I really don't want to use these plastic wheel sets. They leave dirt on the track more so than metal, and I like to have something a little bit more freewheeling as well, and I like that clickety-clack sound from metal wheels as it goes over the rail joins. Pretty typical of any time that I choose to do a live, but my phone absolutely comes alive with people trying to contact me. Give me a moment while we wait for that to soften up. Nice. Hopefully this won't take too long. Well, it was a bit of a weird week last week, not having the lives from all these technical difficulties, but hopefully they're behind us now. Well, let's see if the M is ready. Just like that, magic. So I tried out a new supplier for my lettering after my attempt at making my own didn't quite go to plan for these models. Well, at least for the lettering anyway, it didn't quite go to plan. All the other decals went very well. check that out, people. So we've got the decal actually made with its War Department running number there. We've got our LMR. So this time, instead of using Fox transfers, purely because of the time schedule and things like that, I'm actually using Railtech. Never used them before, and this time I can honestly say so good. Really well. I mean, obviously I've done quite a few already with the other wagons. I'm just going to dab a bit of the damp decal fix there off the brush on, and it's going to help pull it into the detail, as in the wood planking and things like that. And it'll pull it down and it'll give it that three-dimensional look and make sure that it gives that impression that it is actually painted on in real life. I'm going to let that settle for the moment there to the side. Wait, you can just put it there so you can still see it. While that's going on, I'm just going to bring over this wagon body, and I'm going to see if I can actually find the parts. Here I've put them somewhere that I shouldn't have. Oh no, found them. So one of the things that really does my head in is plastic wheels on these things, and that also actually, I'm going to take these couplings off while we're at it. Now, last week while we had the technical difficulties, I spent some time replacing the wheels on a number of the Lomax and the container flat wagons. Let's see if I've got one handy here that I can bring out to one side. There we go. I'm just going to take these containers off. So you'll know these days you'll know them as the railroad container wagons. I think a lot of these are Hornby and Triangle, these ones I've got here. Now these are now fitted with a metal wheel sets, so much more smooth running. And all I've done is fit a brass bearing in, mainly because I am using, because of the small size of the wheels, I'm actually using HO disc wheels, which are great. They're the perfect size this way, across everything like that. Absolutely brilliant, perfect. However, the actual axles are just that bit shorter. They will fit in, but they will also fall straight back out. As you can see here, there we go. So in order to alleviate that problem, what I've actually been doing is just hand drilling out, well, not even hand drilling. In some cases, and like I'm going to do here as well, I've actually been using a Dremel. And luckily, because of the wonders of technology, you don't have to hear that Dremel running, because I can drop the mic. So I'm going to just widen up a couple of these holes here and make it easier for some of the brass bearings, which you should be able to see just there. There's some in there as well, just to accept. And then we use a bit of super glue, hold that brass bearing in place, and it'll also hold the wheel axle as well. Excuse me one moment while I go and get a new battery for the Dremel. Just like that, I'm back. Sometimes it can be very difficult when you don't realise. Pretty sure that battery was fully charged when I used it last. So here we go, people. I'm going to widen up these holes. I'm going to use the Dremel, and you won't have to hear it because of modern technology. There we go. So now it's super glue time. Complete with makeshift applicator, which actually is a bit of wire from Twin and Earth. Now, as I said, I did a lot of these last week. I'm just hoping that this one is going to go together as well as they did. So if you're wondering where I got the brass bearings from, keep the spares. If you're not too sure, there's the details there. PS 157 shoulder bearings. As for the HO wheels, I basically measured them up on eBay and managed to get some really big 24 packs, and I got a few of those packs reasonably priced. There we go. Now, it is a bit of trial and error, this, to get them exactly where you want them. So I need to locate the wheel, and then I have to basically position it so that the wheel is not going to fall out, but it is going to do its job. That one's pretty much perfect. I think this one's going to be a bit slack, so I'm going to have to do some work tightening this one up. And it's just a case of pulling the shoulder bearing out a bit, not too much, just enough. Yep. Add a little bit more glue there. Just so I know exactly where it's going to stick. Now, because the wheel set will just sit once in position, all I need to do is just bring it out to where it's going to be comfortable, the shoulder. Although that one appears to be doing its own thing. There we go. Now if I just leave that like that, that will glue very nicely. Keep an eye on it. And that will be done. And now I'm going to do the same with this one. always be sure to be careful when you're doing that. Just clean them out. Right. Move on to the next two bearings there. Get my glue applicator. They can do this other ways, and I'm going to try and demonstrate one of those by putting the shoulder on first, which immediately didn't work as planned, but I did this a lot the other day. Put the shoulder on there, guide that side of the wheel in, and do you know what it is? Because I'm going to demonstrate this, it's just not going to work the way I want it to, but I will persevere. Nope. Or we'll go back to the old way. There we go. Well, that one's in. You just see that brass spare in there. The glue will set and then it won't move. I can still get the wheel out if I need to at a later date, but it just makes running a lot easier. Let's get this second one into position. And as I did before, if it's just that little bit too far in, just pull it out. There we go. That's another one done. So we'll leave that to dry. Let's have a look at this one. Check this one's doing okay. Those wheels are spinning perfectly. It just comes down to letting that bearing settle and glue. I'm just going to slightly, there we go. Just got to keep an eye on them while they dry, but that's those two done. Beautiful. I'm going to order some more of those wheels because I have gone through the better part of 60 of those wheels now. I have bought a phenomenal amount of spoke wheels as well to go on these wagons here that we are finishing with the transfers, because they all had plastic wheels. So I'm just going to move these letters and get rid of bits of plastic. There we go. Let's put these transfers in. I didn't mean to have that one go upside down, so we'll have to sort that out now before it's too late. There we go. That expression, waiting for paint to dry, comes in as well with waiting for decals to soften, doesn't it? Gone for a little bit of a sort of an electro 80s vibe today with the boat music in the background. I do like a bit of electro 80s. Now that I don't need the Dremel, I'll move it out of the way. Well, it's actually not a Dremel. If you get the chance, a Ryobi multi-tool, absolutely brilliant. 18 plus version. Anyway, let's move on and get these decals on. Look at that, so easy, so quick. I've got to say, I do rate these rail track transfers. Absolutely loving it. They really do look the part. Get a bit of weathering on that when they're finished. They're going to look great. Great. So next up, I'm going to move over to this Freightliner wagon, which someone in some point has modified. They've put on these decals, well, printed decals anyway, and they've glued them on. So it's going to take a bit to get some of this off, but it will come off. I've done a lot over last week, and I purposely saved some for when our technical difficulties were over. You can see underneath this one, original decal and paintwork. Now these aren't destined to be strictly or repainted into Freightliner livery. They are cheap. You can pick them up pretty much all over the place, especially model shops, collectors fairs, all that sort of thing, marketplace, eBay, the lot. They're all over the place. There are absolutely tons of them available. And we've had these for quite a while, at least the Freightliner versions anyway. I've got a load of other ones. But the purpose of these ones is actually for Aidans Sodor fleet. Now, we used to always run these with Aidans Hymek, or Hornby's interpretation of Bear. So these are destined for a slightly different type of makeover. Nothing too extreme. So there will be a lot of purists out there who will probably get very upset. But that's what these ones are destined for. And like the frames have had metal wheels with bearings applied to them as well. Now, I'm not too fussed about a primer and things like that. There's a lot of lacquer going on these for what's going to be taking place. But what we're going to be using is Thumb Rolls 53. It is a gun metal metallic. I'm not sponsored by Humbrol, but there are links in the description if you want to check them out. They are affiliate links. We do earn a very, very, very small amount if anyone purchases anything through our links. I'll give you an example. These are about £1, £2 something. They're not very much, these drop bottles, and they last for ages. And we probably get about 5% off that at most. So if it was £1, we're going to get a 5 pence. So we don't earn fortunes. Let's just get that out there now. And to be fair, not many people do use our affiliate links, but I put them there anyway. Because if you want to try out what we're doing, it's the quickest way to do it. And I'm not ashamed to say that they're affiliate links, because it's the way of the world. You can't do everything for nothing, can you? Right. Paint brushes. Nice soft flat brush here, just a cheap one as well, it's nothing flash. And I want to give the entire thing 2, maybe 3 coats of this stuff. So the first one's always going to be like a scratch coat. And as you can see, it goes on very, very well. As I said before, first coat, scratch coat, so you'll always see what's underneath initially. Now you might wonder why, but I'm not painting the top straight away, because otherwise I'll have no way of holding this thing when I'm doing it with the multiple coats afterwards. So I'm just going to let that go off a bit. Get some acrylic thinners. And as with a lot of the stuff I use, Humbrol acrylic. And we do buy this stuff, it's not given to us. We buy it. It does cost us money to do these things. And when you think about it, a lot of these paints and blues and thinners and all that type of thing, they get used on multiple models. For instance, that gunmetal grey was originally bought for the Airfix tank kits that we produced in earlier live episodes. So while that's going off, I want to bring this over. Now I've already masked this off, and we're not going to go down that road again, but yes, this is Humbrol masking tape. You get it in packs, different diameters. In fact, there's a pack there, and there's a really thin one in there, and then a slightly wider one. This is the medium that I'm using at the moment. So I've masked it off basic wise. The front and rear already got the red on, so I'm not too bothered about that. It's more the sides than anything else. And for that, not Humbrol, weirdly enough. And the reason for that is because I actually have this kicking around, and it's just perfect for what I would need. And it's actually the Phoenix Precision's P135 British Rail Signal Red. Now I used to use this for buffer beams, still do actually, and it goes a long way. So I'll just give this a little bit of a shake. And like the gunmetal paint, it's going to take a couple of coats just to get it right for what I want. Give the back a touch up while I'm here. It's not absolutely necessary. Now, like the other, I'm going to let that settle. I'm going to need that paint again, so it's not going very far, but that is an enamel, so I am going to keep that covered up. And I am going to clean the brush immediately. And this time, because it's an enamel, I'm using the Humbrol enamel thinners. Let's move over to our friend here. That's already starting to go off, so that means I can come back quite quickly with the next coat. Wonderful stuff. Now, while I'm waiting for that to go off, might have given the game away now, but similar to Freightliners, it's Sodor Freightliners. And if you think, oh no, what is he doing? Well, I want you to check this out. Sodor Freightliners. It works, it's not amazing. Now, I did try to make water slide transfers for these. In fact, I've got them next to me, and they do look good. But I can tell you now, they don't slide great. So it could be the paper I'm using. So I've kind of avoided using them. As a result, what I'm actually doing is similar to what the previous keeper of these containers had done, whilst using some of the paint to help blend it in. Now, the one I just showed you, that hasn't been weathered yet, so that makes a huge difference. Once they're weathered, it'll be even less noticeable. And this all comes down to making our very own custom Sodor Freightliner train to be using with Hymek, as we call it, or Bear. And they will go on that one when that's dried completely. So while I'm waiting, next coat of the red, as it's just say start to go off. Now, although masked really fairly well, there will still be a little bit of bleed on that, and you touch it up with the gunmetal grey afterwards with a fine precision brush. At least that's what I've been doing anyway. Although I haven't had to do very much of it. That masking tape is pretty good. I'm happy with it. So immediately cleaning off of that brush again, ready for its next use. I think we can get another coat of this on, so we'll put another coat on the sides, and then I'm going to give the coat on the top the first time. So I'd say for the moment that's ideal for the sides. Now I'm just going to get first scratch coat onto the top. Same as when I worked on the sides of it. Just need that initial one just to take some hold. Now, in order to fit those Soto Freightliner transfers, prints, whatever you want to call them, that red is going to have to go off properly. So I can't do an awful lot of that. Probably till tomorrow. And then there'll be more red to go on, and then there'll be some clear varnish to go over the top. So today we have finished the last wagon with the Longmoor Military Railway decals. That's drying off nicely. We have fitted metal wheel sets with brass bearings to the Lomax, 2 of which, and you can hear them just spinning freely, no problem. We have placed the red onto the sides, ready for these printed decals to go on, and then obviously be painted on the top, varnished, and then weathering. And we have made a start on painting on this container wagon. So, calling it a day today because we're about 1 hour and 10 in, and we've got 2 more lives today. We've got the big brick build where we're doing the piece of rolling stock. I think it's a fuel tender that goes behind the Union Pacific diesel that we built a couple of weeks ago, and we have got to finish off the steam loco on our 3rd live today. Another Union Pacific, I believe. I don't think it's based on anything in particular. I think it's just a mock build, but the instructions are terrible on that, so join me for that to see me absolutely struggle getting through that one later on today. Thank you for joining me. I hope this has helped you, given you inspiration, and I shall see you again in the next stream.